Good evening, everyone, and welcome. Here we are, round one of the Season 4 Championship. Here we are, already in through 4 seasons. Crazy to think about. When it felt not that long ago we were still in Season 1, but here we are. Season 4, 6 rounds, DTM92. All manufacturers are in play. All manufacturers are basically teams for the season. So each manufacturer, each car has 7 people, 35 racers total, which is amazing to think about. That we're going to have up to almost a full server, 35 people for each round. So welcome. We're not live. We are recording just due to some circumstances. We're not live streaming this, but this will be up on YouTube, so we will make sure everyone knows when it goes up, where it goes up, and where this all can be enjoyed. So if you're watching this at some point, make sure to put a like on it. Make sure to comment if you want something. If you're not a subscriber to the YouTube channel, make sure and subscribe. If you're not a follower on the Twitch channel, then follow over there as well, as we at times live stream over there. I was hoping to make this a live stream, but unfortunately I am not. So we're at least recording all this, we're capturing all the footage, we're capturing all the excitement, and it'll be uploaded to YouTube where it sits right now as you're watching it. So welcome to everyone. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for stopping by. We're here in qualifying, and as I said, 5 teams, 5 manufacturers, 7 drivers apiece, 35 total. So that's kind of how the scoring will go. The scoring will go per team, but then also individual. So just like in Season 3, how there were team winners of the two drivers per team and individual winners, there will be the exact same thing. There will be a team winner of 7, but then also individual podium of 1, 2, and 3. So some folks have the opportunity to even get 2 podiums for team and individual. We'll find out after 6 weeks. So a little information, I guess, when it comes to this season here. As I said, 6 rounds, 6 weeks. there will be 2 races per week, and what that's going to be is 2 races of 25 minutes. Qualifying, as you're seeing here, is going to determine the grid for race number 1. The race results of race 1 will determine the grid of race number 2. So there is no reverse grid, there is no reverse top 10, anything like that. Where you finish in race number 1 is where you will start in race number 2. So another added little wrinkle. More wrinkles for this season is each of these cars have an extra 50 kilograms of ballast. So they each weigh 50 kilograms heavier than the base car within Raceroom. So that's one way that we're kind of evening out the field, or at least trying to even out the field. And then after each round, if you finish, I believe, in the top 10, you have some ballast, you have some extra weight added to your car. If you finish in the bottom 10, then you have some removed. So another little wrinkle to try to even out the field, even out the drivers from top to bottom, and kind of make things a little bit more enjoyable. You may see some folks, up near the front who we haven't seen in past seasons. You may see some folks that have been in the front in past seasons, maybe in the mid pack, maybe in the back. Who knows? We will all find out together over the next 6 weeks. But if you haven't noticed already, you will see that the BMW team should all be in the green and white Tic Tac livery. So if you see the green Tic Tacs, that's a BMW driver, and they're out there. Same goes for Audi. Audi has, of course, one livery scheme within Raceroom. It is the red and the gray. So if you see the red and gray, it is the boxy, foxy Audi, the heavy boy. So they're out there. We also have the Mercedes. I believe there are different variations of the livery for the Mercedes and for the drivers in the Mercedes. So we'll have to keep an eye out for all of them. 2 left to go. You have the Opal. They're in your screen right there. The yellow and the black that just went out of the screen. There's only one livery for the Opal. So if you see the yellow and the black right there in the forefront, that is the Opal. Then the unmistakable Ford Mustang. There are, I believe, a couple different variations of the livery. Some folks have taken the all white that you see there with Theo Lupo, and then I think maybe 2 or 3 of the other teammates have taken different liveries. So that's out there as well. So I mean, you've got people racing for individual positions and points, but then you also have them working potentially as a team to try to rise up as far as they can get everyone into the field, or up the grid. So we'll see what happens. But we're coming up on 3 minutes 30 seconds of qualifying. Theodore Insbury has the top time right now of a 1:15.028, with Matt Bergen very close behind. Dom Bessel in the Opal, about 1/10 behind. Luke Longnecker in the Audi, 2/10. Ramiro Perez, 3/10 back in P5. Patrick Carnahan, Shea Samuels, I believe, there in the Fords in 6 and 7. Rudolph Stein, P8 in the Opal. Von Gingrich, the first BMW in the top 10 there, in P9, and then Shane in P10 in the Mercedes. So all 5 manufacturers are at least in the top 10, and then they go on from there. Now, as you can kind of see as well, the standings board, I might have to work on that. I might have to try to raise it up, because it's going to cut off the last 3 people. So it's going to go to 32. If there's 35 out there, then we obviously will not see who's in the last bit. Of course, I will, because I have the timing screen up. But you most likely will not. Let's bring that over here. 33, Emery Anderson. 34, Jeff Lacey. And let's try to make this a little bit more readable. Raymond Aguilar in P35. So hopefully I gave enough background of the season. For round 2, come on back. I'll try to have more information, maybe in graphics within the stream, so that way you can kind of get an idea of where people end up. And even for round 2, we'll put up who either gained some weight or lost some weight of the ballast from round number 1. So we'll try to keep everyone in the know as possible when it comes to the how the cars and how the drivers come out from round to round. But it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be fun, and we're gonna be right along here with you. I'm not driving in this, so I'm gonna try to give you 6 weeks of the best commentary that I can try to give you. So hopefully you come on back. Round 2 should be live streamed as well. So if you're watching this at some point, Monday, what day will that be? Monday the 15th. Round that should be live streamed, either on Twitch or YouTube. I'm gonna try to maybe get some things working and see if we can't stream some more on the YouTube side of things. So as qualifying comes to an end, there you have it. Theodore Insbury, your top time with a 1:15.028. Dom Bessel in P number 2, very, very close, so 1:15.031, and Matt Bergen, P3, with a 1:15.091. So those three right there are super close together. And as it goes through, just some names: Lupu in P11, Ian McClure P12, Evan Gramke P17, Scott Galbraith P22. Who else we got? Mike Lobin there P24, Derek McCord P32, and we actually don't see I think 33 through 35 did not make a time. So we're going to pause. Okay, everyone, welcome back. So the drivers just got done through with about a 5-minute warm-up. I decided to kind of pause the recording just to make the file size a little bit smaller without that 5 minutes in there. I think there's another warm-up between race number 1 and 2, so we'll probably pause it for that as well. But we're here, 30 seconds to go before race number 1. As you can see, folks are starting to pop up there on the track. So they've hit drive, they've got their tires, they've got their fuel, they've got their setup, they're ready to go, and they're ready to get going. So once everyone gets out there, the lights will go on, and then the lights will go off, and we'll be on our way. So I will do my best to try to keep the action on screen and try to really just commentate what's happening out there. So let's get going. And it's a rolling start. I forgot about that. And we're at Watkins Glen. Probably forgot that as well. So Watkins Glen short with the inner loop. So that's why you're seeing about 1:15, 1:16, 1:17 lap time. So we're on board with Luke Longnecker here in P4 as they're going to start coming to the line. You have Theodore Insbury there in P1, Don Bessel right there P2, Matt Bergen P3, Luke Longnecker P4. So they're going to be taking off here in just a second as they come to the line. No need for lights. We've got the line, and they are off. Everyone jumps all over the place. Mr. Insbury gets a very good jump out. Don Bessel slides kind of far back. Maybe not the best of starts for him. Ramiro Perez here in the Mercedes jumps up to P4. Is being touched. Looks like by Patrick Carnahan, and cars just disappearing out of sight for one reason or another. But moving up to Theodore Insbury. Let's go into the back of the pack. In the dash. We're on board with Von Gingrich here. We're going to stick with him for just a second back here in P14. Sketty right ahead in 13. Richard Blatcher right behind, and they go through the inner loop. And at least 1 through 14, 1 through 15, not bad through there. We're going to move up to Theolupu. Let's go on board with him. He's here in P number 9. As you can see, everyone up ahead swerving one way or another to try to get ahead. And a nice pretty line here, 1 through 9. We'll stick here for just a bit. As I said, 25 minutes. So that was lap number 1, and we are down to about 2 minutes and 37 seconds as of right now. We'll stay on board. You got a Ford right there ahead. Oh my goodness. That was murder in 48 states, folks. Samuels, he went a little hard through there. Maybe missed the break point. Maybe missed, I don't know what happened there, but kind of just flew through turn 1. Hit somebody. I'm not really sure who that was he hit. I think it was Perez. I think he hit a Mercedes. And that was that. I'll tell you what, let's move to the back, as there is a collection of cars back here going at it. We got Scott Galbraith back here in the Opel with Jackson Sengelang and Amato, Keshin Hall, Walt Graves as they slice their way through the field here. Scott Galbraith picking off people one at a time as he moves his way through. He's now going to be up to P30, getting ahead of Keshin Hall there. And onward he goes. Who else we have? Ian McClure almost side by side here with Shane in P11. 2 Mercedes on each other. These are also teammates per the manufacturer. So you certainly do not want to take out a teammate in the process of trying to gain a spot. But he manages to do that. Richard Blatcher also moves ahead. And we're going to be here with Sean McInnes, right on the fender of Flavio Barris, my apologies. As they go down the back stretch, they're going to be coming up to the inner loop here very soon. There it is. Brake, curb, some sliding. Holds it and goes. Who's had an issue back here? Walt Graves is backwards, as he just saw a Ford just absolutely fly on by. And he has moved back to P34 with that slight spin. We're going to move up front here, Matt Bergen. Let's go on board with Luke Longnecker. That way you can kind of see what's going on from his perspective. Here we are in P3. That's Theodore Insbury and Matt Bergen ahead in P1 and 2 as they fight for the lead here on lap number 4. And there are a few people here right in line. We're on board with Patrick Carnahan, as you can see the first 4 ahead of him, with Ramiro Perez in between himself and Luke Longnecker there in P3. We've got Sketty trying to work some magic here on Theolupu, P8, P9. With Don Bessel. My goodness, those cars are just jumping all over the place. My goodness. With who's that? Rudolph Stein right there ahead in the yellow and black Opel in P7. Jeff Lacey into the wall hard back there. That might prove to be make the rest of his race a little bit difficult, probably from an aerodynamic standpoint. But he is going to continue on, and we'll see where he eventually ends up. Ed Scott here. There's a lot of action all over the place, so I'm going to try to keep everything as best as I can in perspective here. Patrick Carnahan with Ramiro Perez, P5, P4. Theodore Insbury, as you can see there, is now sitting in P3. Luke Longnecker has somewhere along the way gotten ahead to put 2 Audis out in front. Matt Bergen, Luke Longnecker, P1, P2. And they are the only 2 Audis in the top 10. You got to go back to P12 for the next Audi. As they go through the inner loop. No issues for any of those four. Let's move on back here. Look at this. Mike Loban back here in the Audi. Someone just went absolutely. Who's that? Ian McClure into the wall hard. We're going to go back to Mike Loban. He's looking at Fast Medici with Chase Small, Von Gingrich, Evan Gramke, all right here packed together. Some very close racing as they come through the last two turns before the start-finish line. A little slippage from Medici there. Manages to hold it, and onward he goes. Jackson Sanglang very close. Back here with Andy Morehouse, Derek McCord. And he has Emery Anderson right there behind him as they come across the line and start their sixth lap. Let's go back up front. Theodore Ensbury wants that position back. Actually, probably wants both those positions back. Well, we're going to see if he can get it. As you can see, Longnecker kind of slides a little bit high. Well, so does Ensbury, but not as high. Gets a better run. Let's see if he can do some in and out business here. And it looks like he will not be able to, so he will move on. Sean McGinnis with Flavio Barras, Grimy Dog right here. P18, 19, and 20. As we come up on 17 minutes to go, almost 10 minutes down. Let's see. That's Evan Gramke right there in the middle of those four cars. Who's around him? You've got Ed Scott, Evan Gramke, Von Gingrich, Chase Small, all right here. Two Audis, a BMW, and a Mercedes, with two more Audis right there behind. So there's four Audis here within these 6 positions. As we see them all fly over all the curbs. Oh my goodness. They make their way through. And successfully make it by. Luke Longnecker here is now in P4. Patrick Carnahan's moved up to P3. Theodore Ensbury back up to P2. And Matt Bergen about 2 seconds ahead there in P1 in the forefront of the shot as he goes out of the shot. So these four here, Perez, Longnecker, Carnahan, Ensbury, are certainly going to try to vie for position, but they also may want to maybe try to work together to try and catch their way back up with Bergen. It's like Sean McGinnis is off right in the straightaway, gets out of the way very nicely before everyone else comes. Has a little front end damage, maybe a little aero damage with that. So we'll see where he ends up at the very end here. We're going to jump back up to Evan Gramke getting a run on Mike Loban, I believe. Oh, and someone just lost it behind. I think that was Loban. So I don't know who's right behind. No, that wasn't Loban. Who was that? That was Medici. And Ed Scott has lost it there as well. So the Audis are all over the place. Oh, we caught that. That was kind of a poor rejoin from Mr. Medici in the background, which has caught Andy Morehouse square in the front. Ed Scott is here. Someone's going through. It's Fast Medici going through there. So just all kinds of issues there before the inner loop on the backside. But that was definitely due to not the greatest of rejoins by Medici there. They're all coming up now on Andy Morehouse, who is kind of stuck in that position there. He is now a lap down as these 5 come roaring through the inner loop with Dom Bessel there in P6 catching up to these 5. So good collection of 5 here, trying to make their way back up to Matt Bergen. And it looks like Andy Morehouse has retired from the race. Unfortunately, certainly not from anything of his fault. He's caught in a bad spot. Wrong place, wrong time, unfortunately, for Andy Morehouse. Who else do we have here? We have a great battle for right there. We'll keep that one in mind. I think that was Theo Lupu back there just sliding around like crazy coming through there. Rudolph Stein trying to catch up to that Goodyear 22 wing. And it looks like Fast Medici has also retired from this race. It's showing Sean McGinnis with 100% damage. 100% front aero damage. So I'm not sure how much further he can go. He may just soldier on and try to finish it. But we are under 13 minutes. We're on board here with Rudolph Stein, P8. Theo Lupu right ahead in P7 as they come through the inner loop, which has already kind of caught some folks out with those large curbs, throwing people either one way or the other if you're not able to hold it. Let's move onward. Theodore Insbury is locked into a mortal combat here with Luke Longnecker, now sitting in P4. Luke Longnecker in P3. My apologies for the pause there. I don't think my connection is probably all that great to the server at the moment from where I am. So my apologies for if things don't look the greatest, sound the greatest, are the greatest. There's someone off to the side. I don't know who that is. That's probably Keshan Hall, who's now gone a lap down. And looks like Matt Bergen has about a 2-second lead. We'll go TV camera for these 4 here. Ooh, as Dom takes the inside of the curb. Tries to make it stick and cannot. As we see them come through the last 2 turns. Oh, Fast Medici has a drive-through penalty, so he must have gone in maybe to get his damage repaired. Has now gotten a drive-through penalty. And let's move around. Jeff Lacey here. We have not been on board here with him. He's got a little front end damage in his gold and green Mercedes and P26 right here with Walt Graves. My apologies. Shea Samuels right ahead. He's got Jackson Sangalang right behind him. Let's go further back into this pack. Ian McClure, gets right around Derek McCord, who got a little sideways, a little loose coming out of there in that first turn. This is giving Ian McClure a place up to P28. Let's move up to Mark Shane here in P11, trying to work on Richard Blatcher in P10. And Theo Lupu, he's working on Rudolph Stein. Do a little in and out, do-si-do, little dance here. Let's go trackside camera as they come up the S's. And right on through him. It looks like Lupu is just permanently sideways all the way through every turn, which it works. It works for him. It works well. But as they come down the backstretch to the inner loop, oh goodness, sparks everywhere. And Stein is keeping it close. Let's move back up to the front. Patrick Carnahan right there with Luke Longnecker. P2, P3, back and forth. Flip it and reverse it. And Longnecker is going to keep it going through the last turn. Back to the start-finish line. P2, P3, Theodore Insbury right there, P4. Don Bessel not far behind. We'll go on board here with Mr. Insbury as he's going to take it to the inside. Stick it. Does he stick it? No. I thought he did, but he did not. So that is Patrick Carnahan right there, still ahead. Tried to make it stick. Couldn't. I also couldn't see to his left, so he may have given the space kind of back a little bit, depending on if there was contact or if he pushed Carnahan too far out off the track. But still in P4 for Insbury. Rudolph Stein is sitting sideways down the front stretch, as that is not a place where you want to be. Let's go on board with Ramiro Perez. You can see Patrick Carnahan, Theodore Insbury, Don Bessel, and then that's Luke Longnecker there at the very front. Matt Bergen has kind of waved bye-bye to everyone at the moment. He's about 4.6 seconds ahead in P1. We're going to make sure that we keep all the action. Jeff Lacey right here. Let's see if he can get Walt Graves here on the backstretch into the inner loop. Can he make any move through here? Let's wait and see. As Walt kind of pushes himself out from that last curb, but manages to hold it, keeps it in, brings it in tight, and is around the short. Here we're back on. It's going to be a drag race down the back. Let's go on board real quick. Ooh. Ooh. I would like to know how close Carnahan came to that inside wall there before the inner loop, because that looked absurdly close. But he held it. Kind of like all those folks right there. And they're getting super close. Mark Shane, see if he can do anything with Richard Blatcher here for P9, P10. Oh, he's going to slide to the outside. Can't quite get it. Maybe back to the inside. Can't quite get that. Onward they go. Raymond Aguilar here in the Tic Tac BMW in P16. Swinging it wide, riding the curbs, doing an ollie on Flavio. Someone. There's yellow flags going up all over the place. I don't know what's happened somewhere. I don't know. I'm not sure. Oh! Was there contact there? I am unsure, but Flavio goes flying to the inside. Oh, kind of comes up. He's going to back up. Cut it. There you go. So I don't know if there was contact between himself and Raymond Aguilar, as it looks like Ed Scott has stopped on the back stretch. He's at least out of the way. It should not bother anyone sitting right there. Evan Gramke just passed him as he comes through the inner loop right here behind Chase Small and right ahead of Von Gingrich, P10, 11, and 12. And we are now under 5 minutes, actually under 4 minutes, 45 seconds. And everyone is kind of spaced out a little bit. Let's go on board with Vaughn. He's keeping it close here with Evan Gramke, P11 and P12. We'll stay with him for just a second. Someone goes to the pit. I don't know who that is. That's Chase Small. I don't know what the issue might be. Maybe fuel, maybe some damage, maybe tires. I don't know, but he has jumped into the pit. We'll see what where he may come out. We're going to jump up to here. M. Sketty on the inside of the Tic Tac BMW, outside of Steel Lupo. A little contact. Can each of these guys hold it? They can. Can Theo get back to the inside in the Ford Mustang? It looks like he cannot at the moment. We'll go on board here for just a second. As Theo is taking, ooh, Theo's riding the wall. So Chase Small has a drive-through penalty. Unfortunate for him. I'm not sure what's happened to Dom Bessel. He's dropped back all the way to P34. Let's go back up with Patrick Carnahan. These two will now have about a 3.5 second lead over Theodore Ensbury in P4. I see some more flags showing up somewhere. Someone's out on the outside. That's Keshin Hall out there. Ooh. A little too close for comfort there for Patrick Carnahan, but luckily no issues, no incidents there. Patrick sticks in P3. Scott Galbraith here and Grimy Dog are right with each other going through the inner loop. Grimy's here in 13th, Scott's in 14th. Matty Vargas. Oh, well, he was right behind Scott Galbraith, but has now went into the wall right there. And everyone kind of darts out of the way to get around him. So I'm not sure who that Audi is right behind these two, but it's somebody. Maybe Medici. It's like Scott holds it. Wow. That was an impressive hold. Sketty has come into the pit with 1:30 to go. Looks like for front tires, perhaps. Let's go on board with Derek McCord. Is he trying to get around Rudolph Stein here back in P23, P24? Who else do we have here? Matt Bergen. Where's Matt Bergen? Matt Bergen's coming around right there. So this will be the last lap of the race. Lap number 20. As he comes across the line. Luke Longnecker, Patrick Carnahan. About 5 seconds, almost 6 seconds back. As they are fighting for the last two podium positions. You've got an Audi in P1 and P2. It's like Sketty has a drive-through penalty. Scott Galbraith winning the drag race down the back there into the last two turns. If he gets a good exit here, he should have a good run to stay ahead of Grimy. And he does. Patrick Carnahan, oh my goodness. People are riding the curbs, getting some lap traffic. Let's go. Matt Bergen's coming up. We'll stick with him as he is going to be your race one. Round one, race one, P1, Matt Bergen. A win for Matt Bergen, a win for Team Audi. As he comes across the line, right here, right now, done. Race over. Luke Longnecker comes across the line, P2, Team Audi. Patrick Carnahan, P3 for Team Ford. Theodore Ensbury right there. P4, Team Mercedes. Ramiro Perez, P5. Theo Lupu is going to come across the line here in P6. Richard Blatcher, P7 across the line. Mark Shane, I think. Oh gosh. So there we go. I'm not sure who was a lap down. Finish time 30 seconds. There's something wrong with all that. I don't know what's going on there. But either way, Matt Bergen P1, Luke Longnecker P3, Patrick Carnahan, or Luke Longnecker P2, excuse me, Patrick Carnahan P3. We're going to take another short break, and we'll be back right after this warm-up round. So, go grab a drink, grab a snack, come on back for race number 2. Another 25 minutes, should be good stuff. All right, everyone, welcome back. Once again, race number 2, 25-minute race. After this race, it's the end of round 1. Where folks finished for race 1 is where they start for race number 2. So, Matt Bergen should be on pole. P1, it should be Luke Longnecker. And then it should be Patrick Carnahan as your 1, 2, and 3 for race number 2. And we see the rolling start, which means we're ready to go. We're on board here with Shane. Let's go actually on board with Theolupu here in P6. We'll go on board. What's cockpit look like? We'll go on the cockpit. You can kind of see a little bit more. Once the first 2 cars come to the line, everyone has control. And they will be off and on their way. They're rolling. And there they go. A solid start here from Theolupu. We'll stay on board just through at least turn 1. Try not to hit anyone. Fairly clean here through turn 1 for all those folks. Let's see, back here with Mike Lobin with just all kinds of cars back here. And that is some door-to-door action right there. Well, let's go on the dash. They're going 3 wide down the back stretch. Lobin gets a heck of a run here to the inner loop. Where are the brakes? There they are. Everyone's got them. Lobin does a fantastic job through the inner loop there, getting a run on some folks here. Who's that? Scott Galbraith there. A little touch on Shea Samuels. Ooh. Let's move it back a little bit. Guinness here with a window full of Opel and BMW, with a Ford there to boot. Derek McCord, Rudolph Stein, Keshen Hall, McInnes here in P26. As you can see, a whole gaggle of cars ahead. I don't believe there were too many incidents on lap number 1, at least, all the way through. Let's move it up to too many choices. Evan Gramke here in P6. He's got Theolupu right behind him. He's got, who's that? Ramiro Perez up there in P5. As they come to the inner loop, as they will 20 times probably. Can they hold it? Sliding on through, he does. And that Ford is just throwing off all kinds of popcorn up there. That thing's popping off. I'm going to move back just a bit. Here's Richard Blatcher with Theolupu right ahead, who was right behind Evan Gramke that we were just on board with. As they make their way through it once again. All kinds of stuff happening back here. Mark Shane with, who's he got there? Mike Lobin, Shea Samuels, Scott Galbraith, Walt Graves, all kinds of folks. Bobbing and weaving like boxers, trying to find their groove, trying to find their footing. trying to make their way through the field here. And it's tough. There's all kinds of stuff happening right here in this big group. Derek McCord's gone somewhere sideways, unfortunately for him. Let's go on board with Von Gingrich. Let's move up to Walt Graves right here with Chase Samuels right ahead in the black Ford. And there are yellow flags all over the place. Mark Shane is in the wrong spot. It's like he's pushed it well to the right, taken into some of the wall, has taken out some of his hood, unfortunately. Derek McCord you see in the background coming into the pit. And onward we go. On board here with Chase Small, with Emery Anderson right ahead. We're going to follow this pack down the back to the inner loop just to see what happens here. Ooh. Oh my. Oh. Chase Small and Emery Anderson have been collected in that one. I'm not sure. Oh, and Chase Small is out. Let's go on board Theolupu. As someone's way wide up there, maybe Patrick Carnahan, I think it was. So Matt Bergen is your P1, Luke Longnecker P2, Theodore Ensbury P3, Patrick Carnahan P4, Ramiro Perez P5, and then you have Evan Gramke and Theolupu drag racing down the back to the inner loop. What's going to happen? Both are braking at the same time. Ooh boy. It's so tight right there. It's crazy. Theo moves up into 6th. Evan Gramke into 7th place. Let's go in the back. Fast Medici had a slight issue in race number 1. For race number 2 here in P27, it's got Jackson Sengalang right ahead. Andy Morehouse after his retirement in race number 1, sitting in P25 here in race number 2. With a few cars right ahead of all these three. And Derek McCord with a drive-through penalty, unfortunately for him. Who else do we have? Von Gingrich and Ian McClure here, a little further up the road from where we were, with Ian McClure and Mark Sutton directly ahead from where we are on board with Vaughn. It's always fun to be on board coming down the backstretch right before the inner loop because, it's just absolute pandemonium with everyone trying to slow down enough to not have a curb disrupt the car to make it through the first turn there of the inner loop. And I see yellow flags all over the place. I'm not sure what's happened here. Keston Hall is in dire straits there after the inner loop. We'll go back on board with Vaughn. A Tic Tac BMW with a Tic Tac BMW right ahead with Vaughn and Mark Sutton on the BMW team. Let's move little further up, Rudolph Stein. Jeff Lacey ahead in the Mercedes. Mike Lobin there in the Audi with it's like Shea Samuels and Grimy Dog right ahead of them. So some bumps and some touches here through the S's. No major problems for anybody. There's a BMW on the outside. And Rudolph here is bobbing and weaving and going 3 wide through there. I don't know how that's going to work. It didn't. That Audi, who was that? I think that was Lobin, pulled off pretty heavily, which was probably the smart thing to do through there. As we see them all come to the final 2 turns. We're going to move back a couple places here. On board with Ian McClure. He's got Walt Graves and Mike Lobin right ahead. 2 Audis ahead of his Mercedes. I see a yellow flags again for somebody. I'm not sure who's moving backwards. Somebody is, I think. Looks like Sketty has damage that he's coming in for. Theodore Insbury on Patrick Carnahan. Let's go TV here. Trackside. Oh. No slowdown for Insbury there, as he had a little bit more grass than he did curb through there, but no harm, no foul from the game's perspective. And onward they go. We are down to 15 minutes, 10 minutes gone here in race number 2. Matt Bergen is now on lap number 8. Who do we have here? Ian McClure is very close here once again to Walt Graves, as well as Mike Lobin and Grimy Dog there. In the Ford, right ahead of these 3. So it's about 6 people here, very close together. Let's go on board with Mark Sutton. As you can see, there's a little bit of contact between the Opel and the Audi, I think. Sketty has a drive-through. It feels like every person that's come down the pit lane has gotten a drive-through. I don't know. I'm not sure what's up with that. Oh, a little bit off the wall. This Mercedes. Who was that? That is Ian McClure sliding back a little bit after getting into the wall through the S's. And here we go. A 3-way dogfight. P3, P4, P5, Insbury, Carnahan, Perez. We're going to follow this here for just a little bit. So much noise from the cars scraping the ground. It's unbelievable. I think it's mostly from Carnahan's car. So we're going to move backwards a little bit. I'll keep an eye on these 3. And we're going to move back. We've got Sean McInnes here, Von Gingrich, Mark Sutton. All 3 of these folks right together. We'll go to Vaughn on the track Sean McGinnis has moved ahead of Von Gingrich here. P20, P19 for McGinnis. He's got Mark Sutton right ahead in P18, along with another BMW of Raymond Aguilar in P17. Who's Bergen coming up? Jeez! I think Bergen had all 4 tires off the pavement on that one. That was unbelievable. Holy cow. Looks like Ferris Bueller's Day Off. My goodness. Here we are, Mike Lobin, Walt Graves. These two have been together, I think, pretty much all race. They obviously want to have the better position between the two, but they are on a team, so they don't want to lose any positions from these two. So race hard, but don't take out a team member in the process. Flavio, where'd he go? He is off the track after the inner loop. Coming through there. He's got an Audi making his way through. Ian McClure here in P15. He's got Grimy Dog right behind, and Opel almost lost it. I'm not sure who that was. Scott Galbraith, maybe? Maybe not. I don't know. Maybe Sean McGinnis. Oh, Sean almost loses it again. Tires may be getting a little bit worn, perhaps. Let's see, we got Raymond Aguilar back here with Ian McClure and Grimy Dog. So right where we were, but Raymond here is making his way downtown, drag racing his way downtown, makes the move on Ian McClure. He's going to try to make a move here on Grimy Dog if he can. But he's getting close. He's getting very close. We're now under the 10-minute mark. Where are we on? Lap 13. So we'll probably be right around 20 laps again. So maybe about 7 laps to go. Let's see, Rudolph Stein close to Shea Samuels as they come down to turn number 1. Gonna hold it in close. And those three are just three are holding strong right there. And 9, 10, and 11. We're going to move right back up to where we were just a few minutes ago. On board with Ramiro Perez here in P5. He's got Patrick Carnahan in P4. Theodore Insbury just a little bit further up there in P number 3. These three here are about 4 seconds behind Luke Longnecker in P2. With Longnecker about 5.5 seconds behind Matt Bergen in P1. So Matt Bergen has definitely distanced himself as he did in race 1. Here in race number 2, and looks like he might have the double sweep of the round 1 races, unless I've jinxed him and something happens in the next 8 minutes. I was holding my breath there for a second. Just hoping that Walt did not cause any collisions, which he did not. And onward they go. Raymond Aguilar here in P13. He's got Mike Lobin right ahead in P12. As they jockey for position here. It's like Raymond kind of has him, had him there at the start of the S's, but Mike Lobin's on the inside. Ooh. And Raymond just squirts right ahead there for P12 as they come down the back stretch. Let's go on board here, though, with Mike Lobin, because Mike Lobin just got around Walt Graves in this area, so let's see if maybe he can do something again on this BMW. Getting a good run. I call that Audi the Executive because that's what it looks like. It's a heavy, long boy, that Audi. But he did not, Lobin did not snatch P12 back. Where are we at? Jeff Lacey, P10. He's got Shea Samuels right ahead, P9 in the Ford. He's got Rudolph Stein fairly close behind there in P11 in the Opel. As the kind of P1 through 9 have kind of spaced out evenly amongst everyone. So this is really one of the closest battles on track at the moment for position. As we are coming up on about 5 minutes to go of race number 2 here. I see more yellow flags happening. There's a slow Opel. I don't know who that is. It wasn't Matty Vargas. It might have been Scott Galbraith. Kind of a smashed up front hood there. But he is continuing on in P23. Mike Lobin again on Raymond Aguilar. Very close. We'll jump back up here to Theodore Ensbury, who is now under a second here to Luke Longnecker in P2. Jeff Lacey's also very close here in P10 on Shea Samuels in P9. We've got a Ford, a Mercedes, and an Opel here in 9, 10, and 11. And then they have about a 10-second gap to those behind. Who's going slow? Von Gingrich. A little too far out wide there on the inner loop. Right through the sign with a safe rejoin. Moving it back up to Jeff Lacey here. Trying to move his way one position further up. Under 3 minutes to go. Where's Matt Bergen? We haven't really been on him a whole lot. Just through the inner loop. So he'll be coming up on lap 19. So yes, we should be right on 20 laps as we were for race number 1. Jackson Singling there out a little wide on turn 1. Oh, there's an Opel doing some donuts on the inside. Looks like Sean McInnes. And Jackson's getting a good run here on who is that? Or no, that's Von Gingrich getting a good run on Jackson Singling there. Mike Lobin trying to get that good run on Raymond Aguilar once again. As I believe Matt Bergen, I don't know, he might make it. He might make it around again. Yeah, for 20 laps. As we see the Ferris Bueller's Day Off, 4 wheels off through the inner loop. Let's go on board here with Scott Galbraith for just a second. As he goes through turn 1, he's got an Opel teammate right ahead in Andy Morehouse. These two may work together here to try to get ahead of Mark Shane. They're in P18 in the Mercedes. Ooh, Andy Morehouse. A little snap action there. Right to left. That allows Scott Galbraith to get ahead there for P19. Andy only loses 1 position. Doesn't really show any damage there, so did a fantastic job saving that. A lot worse. My apologies with the kind of the hang up there. I don't know if it's the server itself, my connection, or what, but my apologies for that. Theodore Insbury has missed the turn, it looks like. And oh, cuts it too close there with going through the whatever you want to call those, you know, through the slow down walls. But he is now dropped back to P7, 6 or 7, with Evan Gramke there right beside him, as he's going to go out wide and pull it back in. Let's stick here for just a second as he slides in behind Evan Gramke. And my apologies to Matt Bergen. He's crossed the line in P1. Luke Longnecker's come around in P2. Patrick Carnahan's come around P3, as they all just now are diving for all over the place. Ramiro Perez, P4. Theo Lupu, P5. Evan Gramke, P6. Theodore Insbury, P7. Richard Blatcher, P8. Shea Samuels here, P9, and there's all your results anyway. So here for race number 2, Matt Bergen, P1, Luke Longnecker, P2, Patrick Carnahan, P3, Ramiro Perez, P4, Theo Lupu, P5, Evan Gramke, P6, Theodore Insbury, P7, Richard Blatcher, P8, Shea Samuels, P9, Jeff Lacey, P10. Fantastic racing in both races by everyone. Congratulations to Matt Bergen. Double podium for himself, double podium for Audi. The round 1 sweep of P1. Same for Luke Longnecker, sweep of the P2. As he had that for race number 1 and number 2. So as we move to that, thank you so much for joining. Sorry this was a little bit less than what we will normally have. As I kind of just recorded here, the 2 races only, and not really the qualifying. I think we had a little bit of qualifying, but we didn't get as much as we normally do. It wasn't as in depth as what it normally is. It should be for round number 2. I should have a lot more time to put some things together and to be streaming from home and everything else. So, thanks for watching this. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Hopefully this showcases what is to come for 5 more rounds. 10 more races, so there's going to be a lot of action. As I said, positions 1 through 10. Maybe of race number 2, I will figure out how they come across all that. But people will have kilograms added to their cars. Some folks will have kilograms taken away from their cars to make them faster. Some folks will get slower. Some will get faster. At least, I mean, they should, according to kilograms. So for race number 2, or round number 2, my apologies, we will have kind of that information to show you, who's having stuff added, who's having stuff taken away. So it kind of adds a little bit a little bit extra to all this stuff. So, once again, thanks for watching. Thanks for watching here on YouTube. If you like this stuff, give it a thumbs up. Give it a comment. Make sure to subscribe to the North America Raceroom YouTube channel. If you're on Twitch, find us over there as well. North America Raceroom. Give us a follow over there. As we stream over there from time to time, I'm going to try to start streaming from YouTube as well. Kind of give love to both sides of the streaming world for live streams. So keep an eye out on both places. Follow and subscribe on both places. That way you can get a notification on when we go up, wherever we go up. So come on back Wednesday. We should have a stream up somewhere of the GT3, GT4 weekly ranked event at the Nürburgring, 90 minutes worth. So if you're not racing that, come on and join me. I doubt I'll be racing it, so I will probably be streaming it and commentating a little bit here and there. So come hang with me if you want. So I'm gonna end this. Let's get it uploaded. We'll see you on the next one. Thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Leave some comments on what you like or don't like. And we'll go from there. So we'll see you on Wednesday, and then we'll see you again, at least for this series, next Monday, the 15th, round number 2 of the DTM92 championship. Thanks. Have a great evening.